All right. Looks like we're recording. Hey, everybody out there. This is Sam Dennehy, aka Halfass Customs, and this is Halfass Presents, the podcast. Today's special guest is John Walker. John, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us how you got in the hobby?
Well, a little bit about myself. I have two kids, 17-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl. And I've been married almost 15 years. And I live here in Central Washington State. And like I was telling Sam before we started recording this, it's extremely hot out today. So if you hear my air conditioner running in the background, I can't turn it off or else I have to go in the house. But I've been in the hobby, I would say 35 years or better. I remember back when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my brother had a train layout in his room, and he used to get extremely upset with me because I'd take my Matchbox or Hot Wheels cars in there and run them on the tracks and make his trains crash and break them. He's about 10 years older than I am, but yeah, he
Well,
used
that's
to
what
get
you're
real.
supposed to do at that age then.
Oh yeah, he used to get real upset with me. But I was kind of, he got me into trains and stuff, and I was really into, of course, as a kid, toys, and nothing has changed, and I've been told I'm still a kid.
Hey, we all are.
Yeah, but I really got into the vehicles. I don't know, probably about 10 or 12 years ago. I was really into trains for, like a lot of the guys are, for as far back as I can remember. But, I got into the groups. At the time, it was the Yahoo groups, and groups ran by Wayne Cruz and a couple other guys out there. And, I didn't realize that the vehicle, 187 scale vehicles was such a huge thing. Then I started looking around for parts, and because like a lot of guys, I was into making the semis, the big rigs. And,
Right.
But so I started looking around for parts and found that this hobby was humongous. And, I didn't realize it. I realized that the 24 scale and the bigger scales had clubs and all that stuff, but I didn't realize that this was as big as it is, but yeah, I mean, that's about all I have to say about myself.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I've been into this scale for probably, I don't know, 8 years now, maybe 7 or 8 years. And I got into it probably, I guess, maybe right when Facebook blew up.
Right.
With the modeling groups, because before Facebook, it was still internet forums, and like you said, Yahoo groups and whatnot, that you would be registered in, and you would post pictures and whatnot. And I was really anti Facebook for a long time.
Oh yeah, so was I.
And I was one of the last in a lot of hobby model car groups to leave when everybody else was been on Facebook forever and then posting forever.
Right.
And I didn't like the format at first, but I guess once you're on it long enough, you get used to it. You just, it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
Because I like building my own thread and posting all my crap in my thread. And that way anybody that wanted to see it could see all my stuff, instead of me posting something this morning and it's completely gone by this evening, never to be seen again probably, because it's so far down the list.
Yeah, I always have a tendency to post, somebody will post something. Like the other day, a guy posted that Bruce Springsteen truck, the concert truck. And then I always seem to post something on somebody else's thread. And then I'm thinking, well, why did I do that? It's, I should have just left a comment cool or something like that. But yeah, I've been working on some stuff that, I'm really into music. I don't really play music at all. I can't. My dad was in a touring band and that type of stuff, but he left me some guitars and stuff, and but
That's
I
cool.
just I don't know how to play them. But
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
want to build. I want to build. Well, I'm working on like a scene from Nashville, like Broadway there in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nashville, where they have
Yeah,
like Tootsies and
when I go
all
out
of
to the
those.
St. Louis meet, we go through Nashville on the way back to North Carolina, and we stop
Yeah.
every time. And that's such a neat looking place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's. I lived in Tennessee, down in just north of Chattanooga for a while, in a place called Cleveland. We moved
Yeah,
down
I've heard of
there,
that.
and it was a depressed area, so we were down there about a year, and then we moved back to Washington. But I never had a chance to actually go up to Nashville. We spent time up in Knoxville. My wife's from Tennessee, and that's where she has family, up in the Knoxville area. She has a sister down there in Cleveland. But anyways, that doesn't pertain to models. But I want to.
But your scene that you want to do does.
Right, right. Yeah, I have a lot to do. But if I was to pick the camera up there, it's what a mess. I get started on something. I have ADD, HD, ADD.
All of it.
I can't sit still long enough to really focus on something. I've started hundreds of projects and nothing has been, finished. It's sad.
That's crazy.
I have that
I
evil
get that
Knievel.
though. I
I have
get
that
it. And
evil
there's a lot of
Knievel.
people like that.
Right. I mean, I have that evil Knievel Mac truck and trailer that I've been working on for a long time, and I've got specific parts for it from William Ratcliffe, and it's just about done. I painted the interior the best I could um, with the stars and stripes. It looks kind of goofy, but the I just have to put decals down one side of the thing, and then it'll be done. But it's sitting up here that I haven't touched it. I have lots of decals that I've printed off, for certain projects, and they're just gonna lay there and rot, I guess. I don't know. I made this. Well, let me see if I can. You told me how to turn the camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that bus.
Yeah, I made that bus. It's just one of those Matchbox buses, but this
But
is
it's
from.
187 scale, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's really
Or
close, but
close enough.
I made. I mean, you can see on it. It has the. It's not going to focus, but anyways, it's a Santa Fe Super Chief, and then on the back it has it. But anyways, this is from one of my favorite. I like country music, but one of my favorite old-time singers, Haggard. And that's Merle Haggard's bus right there.
Oh,
And then
okay.
over
That's
here
cool.
is my version of Tootsie's.
That's awesome,
I
man.
don't know if you can zoom on this or not, but
Um, I don't know
let's
either.
slide it
Yeah, that's
closer.
what I've had to do with my models, just put the camera too close sometimes.
But
That's a cool looking building.
yeah, and then I made the decals. I'm going to do the interior and stuff, but those are. I took those off the
Right,
internet,
right.
made the window dressings and stuff. Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
awesome, man.
It's something. It, oh, look, it's messy over there. Turn that back
Yeah.
off. But yeah, I mean, I got, of course, my phone just went off, so I'm gonna respond to a message. I'm sorry. Um,
That's fine. No,
um,
that's cool though. I
yeah,
mean, it's cool that you build that because I don't print anything off of the internet as much as I wish I would and I should to create logos and whatnot. I just end up spending too much money on people that make decals for me, and it kind of drives me crazy because I have the ability to, I just don't.
yeah. I mean, I have the printers and I have everything. I have an Alps printer. I can print metallic gold, and I have a few guys that are looking for some decals that you know I still owe them to them. I don't have a whole lot of time, and I tell them that I'm going to get them done, and I sit down and work on them, and I work on them that day, and then it's like I don't have time to get back to them, But
Yeah, it happens,
I'll get
man.
them done. I got to get them done. I hate telling somebody that I will do something, then it takes me a year or 2 or 3 to get it done. But
Well, that's like me. That's like when you see me post a new car every day. I'll literally start that car in the morning and do my best to get it done by the end of that day just because I sort of have that same ADD thing where if I have to work on it too long, I lose interest on it and
right.
then I don't want to touch it again. It's
Oh yeah.
like I'm over it. So if I can build it fast enough, it'll keep my interest and I still want to do it.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I build a car so quick. And everybody's like, take your time, it'll look better. And I'm thinking, if I take my time, it'll never look at all because you'll never see it. I'll
Yeah.
just put it on a
Yeah.
shelf and it'll collect dust or just get thrown away or something.
Right. Yeah. I feel your pain. I mean, I can show you. I have lots of stuff like that. There's that Evil Knievel Mac.
That thing is awesome.
Yeah. There's some things
I
that
mean, for what it is,
I'd like to have done different, but that is that old saying, what is it? It is what it is. But
right.
yeah, I mean, I made all those decals, and that took me a lot of work, but whatever. It was fun.
I
Oh,
like it.
there's my junk again.
That'd be your tribute to the famous movie Cars and TV Cars group
Yeah. Yeah, I have,
whenever it gets
um,
done.
I have another, truck that's over on my, workbench have you ever, he had that, TV show as, American Trucker or something like that. The guy's name was Rob Mariani, and he has this truck called Low Patrol. And I started building that one too. Again, keyword started. Um, I had William Brillinger make all the decals, and he laser cut all the grill and all that stuff for me for that one. And but it just sits over there. I mean, I just got to put some fuel tanks on it, and I think fifth wheel, and I think it'll be good to go. But
I mean, at least you have the ideas in your head. You eventually collect everything you need for it. So now it's just up to having the time to build it.
right,
So at least you're getting to like the beginning start of it. Most people have the idea and never look any further into it. So, I
right.
mean, at least you're maybe halfway there or a quarter of the way there,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think that one. I think that one's about 3/4 of the way there. This one, that Evil Mac, I mean, I just have to put decals on the. Uh, well, might have to
Crashed the
decal it
bird.
all now because it fell over. But I have the decals on this side, but I don't have
Oh,
any on
okay.
that side. So that's all that's left on that.
Dude, you're
And
at
then
the home stretch.
yeah, yeah, that'll probably only take me another year. Should have that one done. But yeah, I guess when I retire, I'll have all kinds of stuff to do if I make it to then.
If you make it to then, but
Yeah,
if you have the ADD that you do, you might find so many other things to put in front of it, like so many people do already.
well, I mean, I'm my brother's brother-in-law. I guess it'd be kind of my brother-in-law. He used to race stock cars here in town. We have a oval track up on the hill, but and I want to been going through pictures of all the guys that raced back in that era, and I've been collecting the 24 scale model kits, and I'm going to
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
I want to start doing some of those stock cars, but once again, like I say, I
Right.
have the idea. I just uh, I don't know if it's the time. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot of time, but it's the drive, is the ambition, is the other
Right.
thing that I need. But
Yeah. Well, so here's what's funny. I was building my ultimate car garage, and I ran into a issue with what I was building it with, to where the lights I would normally use in any other diorama are plenty bright, but because I use black walls, the lights I'm using aren't bright enough at all.
Right.
So I glued them down and everything, and it's on like thick cardboard paper, I guess that you call it,
Right.
construction cardboard paper. I don't know. So if I were to tear that glue off, it would just ruin the whole entire construction board. So I put it on pause because I was waiting till my next payday to go down and get some more lights or to do something else. And I said, well, in the meanwhile, let me take apart something I had already built like 15 years ago and rebuild it better. So I got into a 125th scale model car. And I'll tell you what, it's been, I think, a month and a half. I built 4 cars, and in that scale, I haven't got back to my diorama yet. So it really kind of makes me mad knowing that I stepped into a different scale, because I knew if I did, I was going to eventually kind of get swallowed up into it, and just the ideas will fly through my head and I'll just keep on wanting to do that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've been building 125th scale cars for like the last month and a half, while that garage is just sitting in my room doing nothing.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I have many things that I I collect all sorts of junk. I um, collect all scales of toys. I collect toys and Hot Wheels and Matchbox.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, up
got it.
here, yeah, up here in the attic of this room is just full of toys and pedal
That's good.
cars and yeah. But yeah, it's. I probably should get up there and make sure the mice haven't got to them. But
Well, that's funny you say that, because I when I got into the 187 scale cars, I packed up all my model cars, my 125th scale model car stuff, and everything, put them in boxes and put them in our storage shed that's attached to our upstairs spare room. And they were sitting in there for like 12 years with the North Carolina winters and the North Carolina summers. That room just gets so hot and so cold because it's just a storage room. It's not insulated in any way, that I had a couple resin kits start to warp on me.
uh,
And I just spent the whole day today trying to unwarp a station wagon that's got the 4 doors all cut out. So there's no
right,
structure holding it together. Oh my gosh. I think I got it close, but it still, in my opinion, doesn't look as good as it would have if I didn't cut the doors open and then let it sit in that room for 12 years.
yeah, I'm afraid. You know, if I got into that stuff up there, what I would find. I mean, it's
Right.
we have some real extreme temperature differentials here. You know, I mean, like today, like I was telling you, it's 104. But I mean, it's been negative 20 in the winter. You know,
Right.
and it's
That's
so
insane.
it's yeah, it's
See, I've never felt anything below zero.
yeah,
Because in North Carolina, it can get as low as like 10 degrees, but
right,
that's about as low as it gets.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's anything after about 20 degrees is cold. It doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah, it's cold as cold. Yeah.
yeah,
Just don't
yeah,
stick your tongue on the telephone pole.
right, right. Yeah, it's I'm in all sorts of stuff, and I'll
So you
get
said
my
you've been into trains. Is
yeah,
behind you just the road city module, or is there
yeah.
track on that
It's
too?
just a town. I'll show you again. I mean, it's just part of the town. Um,
Right.
I have I have a plan to you know, I mean it goes all the way around, but you see it's piled with crap. Then here's the
Right.
other part
Projects.
where Broadway is going to be, and then down over. I'll take you over there. You know, this is going to be my fuel loading facility,
Oh, okay.
refinery type. You know, because I dabbled around in driving fuel trucks for a while, and really interested in that type of stuff. But you know, it's just a bunch of crap. And then here's my messy workbench. You know, my paint booth. I actually have two of those cheap little paint booths, and boy, let me tell you, those are. And then we'll walk back
They come
over
in
to
handy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're. You know, I'll show you a little bit more. Sorry, I'm screwing your video all up, but
Oh no, man.
you
I
know,
mean, we can see what you're working on,
you
so
know,
that's cool.
then there's my downtown, and then here's that 76 gas station that has a bunch of River Point trucks that I've been messing with.
Is that 76 ball the antenna ball? Did you put
No,
on an antenna?
no, actually, that's a
Oh,
marble. It's
oh, that's
about
cool.
yeah, it's about scale. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I like to. I don't like to use Matchbox and that type of stuff. So, you know, I mean, that bus is pushing it. I like the scale model,
Yeah.
and then over here it's going to be like a little local fuel
You should
distribution
make your
place.
you should make your own beer company and have that as your beer distribution.
Yeah, there could be that. I don't drink or any of that type of stuff, but I mean,
Doesn't matter.
a yeah,
Just make it. Make a
I have a
fictitious one.
I have a bar, and grill.
That's
Um,
really cool.
yeah, this little fire truck, the Chiefs Mobile or whatever it's called, is that light. Well, shoot, that
The
light
hood
right
light
there.
up.
It lights up. I just have to
That's
have
awesome.
everything hooked up. But
I
yeah,
like that
it's
you made that a bar because there's a in our downtown there was an old car shop that still has like the Bombay doors that open up that they turned into a bar
right.
restaurant, and they really made it look really cool. It was really,
Yeah,
I was really happy that they left everything that related to automobiles there and just
right,
made it presentable on the inside to look like a restaurant. It was really
right.
neat. So
Yeah, and
that
then
little bar that you got is pretty cool.
yeah, then I made this fire station a long time ago. It's called Loganville Fire Department. That's my son's name. This is Loganville, the town right here.
Oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
then I painted the inside, the floors, and boy, let me tell you, this iPad doesn't work out very well. I should use my iPhone. I could uh,
Well, I mean, it works pretty good. We can see
maneuver
what
that
you're
a little
trying to
better.
show us. We
Yeah,
can see what you're
yeah.
trying to show us, and that's
You can
the
see
main
all my
thing. We can hear
you
you.
can see all my disaster. It's
I mean, it's
yeah,
not as bad as some people. I was talking to John Howard, who does a lot of the LED work for like police and automobiles and stuff.
right, right.
And he was so far into the country, his internet was horrible.
Huh,
And most of the whole interview, it was just a still screen of him.
huh.
So if he did try to show us, it was very bad, and I think
Yeah,
that's an upcoming episode.
we
So at
we
least
have
yours not freezing.
right. Well, we have fiber internet here, and there's not a
Oh,
problem at
lucky
all.
you. Hmm,
Yeah, it's
fiber, huh? We have fiber
yeah,
in my neighborhood, but I work for the cable company, so we get our internet for free, and
uh,
our internet isn't fiber,
yeah,
but it's free internet's better than fiber internet, in my opinion.
right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, internet I think costs like $55 a month, and
Yeah,
then if you have cable on top, yeah, it costs you 150 to $300.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I know our whole everything we have with our with my company probably have like $400-500 worth of stuff every month,
yeah,
but we it gets comped to us just because we stay with the company and we're employees.
yeah.
So as soon as I quit or get fired, that's when we'll be quitting my cable services.
Right, right. But yeah,
But
I mean,
that's cool that you still kind of build even though you're still very busy.
yeah,
Um,
I mean,
you have the
there was,
thoughts in your head, so
yeah,
that's good.
that's the problem. I have all kinds of thoughts in my head. I have a,
But it's good though because it'll keep you always wanting to execute the thought, you
Right.
know? If you didn't have any thoughts, then there wouldn't be any reason to really build. So at least you have the thoughts and the ideas.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it drives me crazy. I have a photographic memory, and
Oh, wow.
that's a curse. I mean, I don't wish that on anybody. Um, I'll start seeing the images and stuff, and instead of watching, instead of seeing the images like we're looking right here, like everything flows real smooth. It's like a
Yeah.
slideshow, and I'll see an image, and then the next, I see it in like frames, I guess you could say, and yeah, I don't know, it can be bad at times.
It's so funny you say that because I don't have a photographic memory. In fact, I forget so much stuff so quickly that it's funny the people, I've talked to two people that have photography. You're the second person. And it's funny the people that have it really wish they didn't have it. And
Yeah,
everybody that doesn't have it wishes they do have it.
yeah, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I mean, it's yeah, it can really mess with your mind.
I can see that. I can see that when you have the ideas and it comes to you and you can see it, that even if you're not thinking about it, it could just pop in there and you're like, I was wanting to think about something else possibly, but now this is back in my head. Dang it.
Yep. Yeah,
I
it's
was so I want my photographic memory to be of my dreams though, because nobody hardly ever remembers their dreams. And if they do, they only remember for maybe a day and then it just completely disappears. I want to remember my dreams.
yeah, I remember lots of them. And like last night, I had one actually, and I remember that my house burnt down in my dream, and I woke up thinking, "Man, well, thank goodness that didn't actually happen." But I
Right.
mean, yeah, yeah.
It was
No, I
vivid.
remember.
Made you
Yeah,
feel like you were there.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it's it's a neat ability to have if you're able to do say a lot of things with it. So say like you're modeling. If you had an idea 10 years ago and you're going to finally get to it now, you would have all that information instead of lost most of it in between now and then.
right. And I mean, it is kind of neat at times, but not that I would be real bad if the cops came to my door and needed me to describe somebody to them so they could draw a sketch. That probably wouldn't work. I mean, I could see what the person looks like clear as day
Right.
in my head, but I can't,
Can't
you know.
describe it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a.
I always wondered about that. You see those in like movies and TV shows, and you're like, how the heck did they get the information from that person and create the exact portrait of what that person looks like?
Yeah,
It
I
just
don't
seems
know.
impossible.
It's crazy. Yeah, however it works.
But I guess it'd be like the same thing as with a car. Like, I drew a 64 Impala for a friend of mine who had a 64 Impala just from a 2D side photo. And it looked like when I was done with it, and I didn't take very long drawing it, but when I was done with it, he thought I printed it off the computer, off of a digital design. It was so good. And I said, no, man, I just drew it. Like, I used a quarter for the outside of the wheel. I used a dime for the inside of the wheel. And then I put and I did this and I did that. And he's like, that's impossible. No, you didn't. I said, no, totally. So, I mean, I kind of get like, if you were to try to explain it, it may not come out because I couldn't explain how I made that drawing look as good as I did. I just
Right,
can see it in my head, and I can be able to produce it. I can't describe it.
right. Yeah, that's something that I don't have the ability to do. My drawing, I guess my drawings
Well, I can
would
only
look
do
like.
2D drawing. I can't even
Yeah,
do 3D. Like my brain is as good as my brain is in some ways. I can't comprehend the idea of 3D drawing.
right.
It
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
compute in my brain.
mine would look like something, if like Ray Charles or somebody tried to draw a picture. Just that's the way
Well,
mine
you
would
never
look.
know. 100 years, it may be worth something.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought, well, because I have all these things in my head that I'd like to paint. So I went
Right.
down and, well, my wife got me a bunch of stuff to do canvas paintings and stuff for Christmas one year, and then, I mean, that stuff sat around for a couple of years. And then I finally went down and bought a bunch of other stuff, and my daughter's really into space, so I had this image in my head and tried painting her the scene that was in my head, and of course it didn't turn out like it. I can see it, but
Right.
I mean, it turned out all right. That was the first one I painted, and that's going to be the last one I painted probably until I don't
You
know,
ever
really old or.
you ever see those YouTube videos, or have you ever gone to like a tourist place where you have those, I want to say they're street artists that use spray paints and
Yeah,
does all those space scenes. They do them in like 5 minutes or less, and it's
right.
something that looks like it would have took an all day project to figure out. I always wanted to figure out how to do that. I never have. Like
Yeah,
it's like they have it all planned out in their head, and then they just do step by step by step by step to get it done. And it's like, how
oh
did you
yeah,
even figure any of that out?
that's crazy. Yeah, we were down in Las Vegas and stood there watching the guys for seemed like hours. Then you have the street vendors. Well, this was before all this COVID stuff, but
Right.
they have all those street vendors and stuff that try and sell you whatever they're making. And so
Yeah.
there was this fella down there. He's doing claymation or whatever you call it. It was clay face sculptures,
Oh
and
wow.
he's like, "Oh, I'll do it." I was like, I don't want to spend that much money. I'm gonna have to carry this thing home on the plane. So he ended up doing it for like $5. And I
Oh
talked.
geez.
So he did it. It looked pretty good. It's around here somewhere, but
Is it of you though, or what is it
yeah,
of?
yeah, it was of
Oh,
my stupid looking face. But
that's neat though.
he did the clay part for like $5 or something, but he ended up charging me 35 or $45 for the little piece of wood that he put it on. So
Oh, that's how he gets you.
yeah, he still took me to the cleaners on that, but you know, yeah, and then we had a lady, same thing, painted the kids' names like dragon style. I mean, the
Yeah,
letters
yeah.
turned into a dragon, and
Right. I have my
um,
son's name like that.
yeah, and she was like, "Oh, $10 a piece." We're like, "Okay, cool." Then it was $25 for the mat to go around it, and she's
Right,
like, "I
right.
can't." Yeah, you can't have it without the mat. So yeah, well,
The heck I
it was
can't. Let me just roll
yeah,
it up.
yeah, it was a husband and wife team. Let me tell you, that was a pain to carry all that crap on the plane. You know,
Yeah, that's so there's like growing up in Southern California, like Vegas is 3 hours away just in we considered our backyard.
right?
So 3 hours away, we can go there in a day and back in one day. So I've been there my whole life, numerous times, and I found out there's two ways you can do Vegas. Really, only two, and only one where you can enjoy it. The first way is what everybody does: is just throw your money away in slot machines and poker tables because you're just going to throw it away. 9 times out of
Right.
10, you're not walking home with anything, but maybe less than what you chose to go home with.
Oh, absolutely.
The second way is to take all that money, don't do none of the gambling, and just go watch shows, buy gifts, unique stuff that maybe if you only go there once, you'll never go there again, and you want to remember it by. And that way, you have a memory of Vegas or neat things that you can maybe only get from there or whatever. And that's like the only one real way to enjoy it if you're not filthy rich and money isn't a problem for you.
Right.
But you can easily go out, take $1,000 of spending money and just waste it in a night or 2 nights or a weekend or whatever, and slot machines and tables where you can go and buy stuff, go see a show, go see Broadway or something that you can't see in your own city or something.
Right. Yeah, I'm not into gambling, so we went down there. I think I spent $20 on slot machine or something. That was it. I just went down
I
there,
find
and
if you do $20 on a penny machine, it lasts a lot longer.
yeah, I can't remember what it was. Uh,
I
probably
think it would be neat.
something
I,
like
I
that.
mean, the Vegas Strip isn't that long, in considering. I think it would be neat if somebody did the whole Vegas Strip in like N scale or HO scale, just to
That'd be
do it.
cool.
I mean, I
Yeah,
know some people, some layouts, like huge, like museum layouts, or probably even the the place in Germany that has that huge layout. They probably have a few casinos in their own version of it, but I want
right.
like the whole strip. I
Yeah,
think
that'd be
that'd be
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, you'd have to have a
And
big
then it
building.
all, yeah, with it all lit up, and then maybe somewhat working fountains in the front, like the Bellagio and MGM and all that other stuff has. I
Yeah,
think it would be neat just to see that in scale.
yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, there's that layout. I don't remember whose it is, but it's uh I think it runs from it starts in the East Coast and runs through all the major cities like um, Chicago and
Yeah, I
whatever
think
in
that
between, and then it ends up in Seattle. He has a Space Needle and all
that's
that
neat. I
stuff.
know. So I've never been. I plan on going at some point in my life, and I've never looked into exactly the details, but that one in Germany has so many American, like they have like each country, like 15 or I don't know, 20 different countries in their whole entire layout, and
Right.
America is based in there, and they have a lot of different cities in America. I just don't know how many. So I don't know if it's that one that's going from back and forth,
No,
but
yeah,
I mean, they have a lot.
no. This one's in the United States somewhere.
Oh,
I
okay.
can, I don't remember who owns it, but yeah, I could go to that one in
It's neat
Germany and
that they
just
did that though.
yeah, I could go to that one in Germany and just sit there and watch the airplanes all day.
Right. Man, I think any true modeler, say HO, N-scale, train, car, building modeler, could go there and live there for, and be happy
Oh yeah,
just daily. Like say you lived like in the next city down and you were like, I don't need any money. Just give me a position. I'll clean it every day for the rest of my life. Just let me work there. I'll do whatever
yeah.
you want.
That's
You
funny.
don't even have to pay me.
I was watching a video on that place about and it was they get there at like 5 in the morning and start cleaning it.
Right.
Vacuuming all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
What's so funny, because I've talked about this before, but I was pretty sure I was the first person to take the Shapeway 59 Cadillac ambulance and turn it into the Ghostbusters car. And I thought like a real, like not a homemade version that you took just a Bosch 59 Cadillac two-door and made it into a station wagon, like the actual station wagon that's from the car or from the movie. And I thought I was the first, and then I see this video of all the Easter eggs within that layout out there, and they had the Ghostbusters figures and the car already done, and they had to have had that way before I even made mine, and it really
Yeah,
made me mad thinking that I thought I was the first.
yeah, yeah. It's funny when you think, oh man, I think I might be the only one making this, and then a bunch of them pop
Yeah,
up. I don't
right.
know
Well,
how many.
they got two DeLoreans on there too. One DeLorean, like I think they have it like on a flip thing, because it does like a flash of light and then the car's gone, and then a
Uh,
flash of light and the car's back. So it's pretty neat effect. But they have the DeLorean with Marty and Doc like right next to the DeLorean. I'm like, what the heck?
yeah,
These creative people.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Those German people, boy, they're a step ahead of us.
They really are, because you think
Yeah,
about that whole layout being operational. All the lights, people moving, cars moving. Every single car has a light. Every single building and house has a light. Half the people actually move. I mean, that's
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
And they said
They're
they spend like $4 million on just the airport. That's insane.
yeah, yeah. That is. I think the Germans have always been a step ahead of us, even back in the World War II and all that. But
Probably so.
it's
I don't know.
yeah,
I haven't really looked into much about different countries and hobbies, because I'm so focused on like what we do out here. And I even know overall, before this COVID started, all hobbies across the board have been slowly dying for like the last 20 years.
Right.
It is so upsetting to see that. But the funny thing is, I did see a news article um, on the news right in the beginning, or maybe the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks into the COVID. They said hobbies have risen 400%
Oh,
since
wow.
COVID started. Yeah. So hopefully, even after this decides to disappear and we all go back to our normal lives, people will see the love and the joy that they get out of the hobby, whatever hobby they're in, and continue to
Right.
do it so it keeps it alive.
Well, either that or there's going to be some really good yard sales where you'll be able to
Right, right.
get a bunch, you know. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
but you know, it's just mind-boggling. You go to the store. I mean, I get it, you know, but you go to the store to buy a plastic model kit, they're like $35, you know.
yeah, they're
Like, shoot.
ridiculous.
And
You
you
gotta,
always hear the same thing I'm going to say. Boy, I remember when I bought those for $10. You
yeah,
know, it's
exactly.
crazy.
I mean, when I was a
But
kid, there were dedicated hobby shops just for model cars only, not
right, yep,
every single thing like we have everywhere else in this country now.
right,
Yeah, it's crazy. But I found I don't buy anything from the hobby shops. I mean, there's not even a hobby shop in my city. I have to go to another city, and then they don't cater to model people very much. It's all RC cars and planes and all that other crap. But I just buy it online, or I go to a Facebook group, and boom, somebody's selling something, or I just ask for it and they have it, and it's cheaper than getting it from the store. Even if it's $5 cheaper, it's better than you
right.
know
Yeah. Well,
going.
we don't have a hobby shop either, you know. And yesterday we took a trip down south, southeastern Washington, called the Tri Cities, Pasco, Kennewick, Richland area, and there is a quite the hobby shop in Pasco, and they have stuff in there that, you know, years of accumulation, and I
That's
think
awesome.
I mean, they have everything. I went down and I was looking for, I was watching for some of these U-Haul trucks online on eBay,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, because I'd seen that a couple people have changed the cabs out with the bullies and all that. And that's what I want to do. I want a couple for my layout, but I wasn't going to pay $40 a piece on eBay for one. And then I
Right.
found this, you know, with this little
Oh,
bitty,
the motorcycle.
yeah, those were pretty cool. I should have bought
Yeah.
more of them,
How
but
much was that, if you don't mind asking?
uh, thirteen
You don't
ninety
have to
nine.
tell us. Oh
Yeah,
man,
thirteen
that's
ninety
way
nine.
worth it. Already
And
painted, already assembled.
yeah, when you go into the shop, you know, when you actually go in, I think they give you like 10% or 15% off. So I didn't even pay thirteen
Nice.
ninety nine. Well, then
Right.
I just found some other junk that I really wasn't looking for. But I mean, you look the hobby shop, and the guy on the our page, Richard Olson,
Hmm.
he lives down there, and
Oh, no kidding.
you know, he can attest to it. It's in. Um, I've never met him, but I know he lives in the Tri Cities. But anyways, it's in like 4, 5, 6 old box cars. The hobby
Oh,
shop is,
wow.
and man,
That's really cool.
there's just stuff for. I told him yesterday I could spend. I was only in there for about 45 minutes. My wife and daughter stayed out in the
Bored,
car, of course, but
waiting for you to
um,
come out.
yeah. So you know, I just grabbed a few things, and it's about 2.5 hour drive from where I live, so it's not that far. But
That's
told
far
him, man,
enough.
yeah, I told him, man, I could probably spend a week here and not look at everything. But I mean,
I
everywhere
mean,
you look, they had vehicles stuffed in between trains, and I mean, you
that's
miss so
awesome.
much stuff. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
because of how much is there. But
I,
if you had like a full day to go just hang out there, I'm sure you could find some crazy, awesome, just
oh
old
yeah,
stuff that nobody even knows exists anymore.
yeah. I mean, they had some Athearn trucks that um, I called them after I left and told them that I would like to come back and get those. So she kind of set them off to the side.
That's
But
cool.
that I don't think they actually sell Afrin there. It's just the stuff that was left
They
over
happen
from
to
years
have.
ago when they did. But
Yeah.
there's only a couple. But yeah, it's a pretty crazy place, and they have a Facebook page too, but I can't remember the name of it. I think it's TJ Model Trains or something like that. And man, they have all kinds of stuff.
Well, what city is it in?
Pasco, Washington.
Well, that's all we need, because I'm sure we can type in Pasture, Washington, and just type in hobby shops, and we'll end up finding it if we truly
Right.
want to look it up.
Yeah, and they're down in the counties that aren't really open too much. I don't know what phase they're in, but we went into a restaurant yesterday trying to get something to eat. We wanted to sit down. They don't even allow people to sit in the restaurants down there, I guess. You just have to order and get out. I mean, at least here
Yeah.
in town, we can order and sit down with 5 people at your
Right.
table. But
Yeah, our city went to phase 2, and now it looks like they're going to go back to phase 1 because the cases are skyrocketing
well,
across our state.
we're in phase 1.5. So
Oh.
there you go. There was never a phase 1, 2, 3, or 4, or never a phase 1.5 or 2.5 or 3.5.
Right.
Our governor came out and said that, well, like everybody, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but he came up with this 1.5 bull crap, and
Oh,
it's.
well, he wants to be different.
I won't get into it here.
That's good. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. That's enough on that subject.
Yeah. So, you said you've been into the hobby. You said what, like 30 years, 36
Yeah,
years or
about
something?
probably 35 years or so.
How
You know,
how long have you been into building
well,
cars or
when
vehicles?
the cars or the 187 scale vehicles is only, like I said, about 10 years, but
Okay.
124 scale, long time. I used to build lots and lots of model police cars. And we made the decals ourselves on the Alps printer, and I mean, used to sell them all over the place. That was before. I mean, you look at some of these pages now. Some of these guys the work that these guys are doing is just amazing. And so
Right.
I don't even, if I want something, I'll just build it for myself. I don't sell anything anymore. I mean, back probably 6 months ago, I was going to get out of the 187 scale hobby, and I sold a bunch of stuff, but I never, you know, now I'm like, well, why did I sell that? But I just
Yeah.
wanted to get out of the hobby, and I was going to turn this room into something else.
Wow.
But then one day I woke up, was like, I'm going to get back into it. So I started buying a bunch of crap again. And the stuff that I sold, it doesn't even look like I didn't even really make a dent in what I have. And then I just bought 40 or 50 of those RPS trucks from Nelson.
50? Jeez.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have said that on here, just in case my wife watches this. But, yeah, I spend a lot of money on this stuff, but she has her hobbies too. She sews and.
So it's the same thing, just in different
Yeah,
venues.
she has. We have all the vinyl cutting machines and everything. She can make shirts and whatever. I bought all that stuff. I continue to buy all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would really like to get, this isn't involved in our hobby, but
Right.
it's called the direct-to-garment printer. And the printer, I could print that shirt that you're wearing. but they're $20,000. So
Oh,
I think I'll have to wait on that for a little bit.
yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, of course, I think the 187 scale, I think it's one of the most expensive hobbies, I think. I mean,
It can be. It definitely
yeah,
can be, depending on the direction you go with it. Um, I honestly, I don't think I've spent on my on the second Ghostbusters movie car. That's the most expensive car I've ever paid for and built in that scale. And all
if I can ask,
together,
how much
oh,
did
go
you
ahead.
have tied up? I think you're
That's
just
where I was
getting
going
ready to tell
next.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. So the print from Shapeway is, I think, $35 plus another $10 shipping, which is overrated. So say $45 for the print, and then it's just a basic white gloss white paint job I throw over it. And then I put the decals, which I paid, I think, $100 or $140 for 10 sets of those decals, plus little extras of whatever the guy had left over from printing. Um, so figure 10% of that. So $10, just figure $10 for the decals. Um, and then I had another guy print up a whole bunch of vinyl white walls that I paid $40 for a full like 8x10 sheet of just white walls. So
Right.
figure 1% of that. Um, I won't even consider that. And then I bought the, is it, how you pronounce it? Bash.
Bosch or
Yeah,
Bush?
Bush. Yeah. Light bars and
Oh yeah, Bush.
spotlights. Yeah. So you have to buy two of those in order to get two full blue sets of um, light bars
Right.
for the car, because that kit only comes with like one color for one bar, or another
Right.
color for the same bar, or another color for that same bar, not two of the same bar. Um, so those are like, I think, $8 a piece or something.
Right.
Altogether, I think I have about 160 bucks into the one car, into that second car, because the lighting from East Coast Circuit cost me 90 bucks to have them light all those lights up. Um,
Did they install it?
yeah, no, they definitely installed. I can't do any of that stuff. I don't do any of my own LED work
Yeah.
unless it's for a much bigger scale or it's a building.
Right.
But in a car, that's not me. So
Yeah.
I paid them 90 bucks. So I think I have like 160, 170 bucks tied up into that one car. Um, and I probably shouldn't have said that on air neither. Why the other Ghostbusters car that has less lights and less decals, but it's the same car, I think I have like 120 bucks tied up into that. I don't know.
Right.
But what I sell it for
Yeah.
isn't that. It's more.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I have yet to get any 3D printed stuff. I've looked at it, um, but I mean, that's cool. There's a place for it, and I don't knock the 3D printing, but it's I like my I like the stuff like William Ratcliffe does. I have
Oh
a
yeah.
whole drawer full of stuff that I bought from him.
Right.
I like to support the little guys like that.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
not too many other guys I'd buy any resin cast or polyurethane casts from, just because
Yeah.
a lot of work to fix them. But I mean, I've got some pretty cool stuff from these guys that do like 20 pieces, and
Hmm.
or they only cast 5 truck cabs or whatever. I've got some of that cool stuff. And then old Marty there on Facebook, he always posts some pretty cool trucks that I'd like to have, but
Yeah, Marty's doing some good stuff. Greg Dixon's doing some pretty good stuff that Mike Buddy keeps buying stuff from. And then Mike
yeah,
Buddy keeps mass producing the same car over and over again. And I get a lot of my resin stuff from him and Lou. Those are my two big, huge
right.
suppliers
Yeah.
for resin cars.
And I got some, I like when John Tyson puts his stuff out,
Oh yeah, I would
during
say
the
he's
winter.
the master of the passenger vehicle uh, resin casting
Yeah, he
um,
has some.
product.
I have a few of his pieces, and it's usually by the time I see that he's posted it, for sale, they're all gone. So
Right.
it's and then he
Yeah, I have a
and
few
then
of
he says,
his.
"Oh, I'll cast more next winter." But then next
Right.
winter rolls around, yeah. But I,
Yeah,
I
I have
have a
a few
few,
of
and
his. I wish I had a lot more, but no, I don't.
yeah, yeah. I wish yeah. I like that type of stuff, and then I mean, there's some stuff on that 3D printing that some pickup trucks and stuff that I'd like to get, but I I just haven't pulled the trigger and bought them yet.
Well, I know with the ever growing popularity of resin 3D printing and the 3D printers getting cheaper and cheaper, that I believe maybe in the next 2 years, 3 years down the road, Shapeway will be losing a lot of money. Like all the money they invested in their printing is going to disappear because
Right.
I mean you can get a resin 3D printer that can do better quality than what Shapeway offers for like $120, and that's a resin
Oh
3D
yeah.
printer that'll give you all
Right.
the detail that you possibly need.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
seen a
getting
whole
cheaper.
right. I seen a whole a resin 3D printer, and then the curing machine, and then the washer
Hmm.
or whatever it is,
Yeah, yeah,
and for less than $300. But
right.
I used to know how to use CAD back in high school. I had to use it, and it's
Oh,
changed a lot since then. But and
yeah, I can't use it.
I sat down, tried play with it, a while back because I bought my son one of those filament 3D printers. He wanted it to. That
Yeah,
was
I have one of
back.
those too.
It was back when those fidget spinners were real popular, and he was
Yeah.
he was printing them and selling them at school. So
Oh wow.
I bought him that, but he knows how to do all that crap. I
Well, my
if
son,
I sit if I
my
sat if I sat and messed with it long enough, I'd probably figure it back out. Kind of like Corel Draw that I use for making decals and all that type of
yeah, I
stuff.
don't know how to use that either. I could probably learn how to use it. In fact, Joseph Belivens, he is willing to spend all the time I need to learn how to use the stupid Kira CAD system to learn how to do it. But I can build models, like actual model cars, instead of learning how to do that, instead of learning how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool, for like detail parts and that type of stuff if it can print that fine. Um,
Right.
I'm not necessarily printing the vehicles and stuff. I mean, if there's something I'm really wanting a Kenworth TA80 cab. There's that fellow that he's from Canada and he was printing them, and but he only prints a few at a time. I would
Right.
buy. I really really want one of those, but Marty sent me a deal one time showing that first gear somebody may be releasing one here soon, so we'll wait and see
Oh, nice.
if it
Yeah, it might
but
be cheaper
yeah,
if
cheaper
if
and
it gets released by a company.
already painted.
Right, right.
And you might have to change the wheels or something because most of the time their wheels are garbage. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I do want to learn how to use this printer though. I've had it for I guess a year now, and I've printed one thing, and that was the file that came on the disc for the printer.
Right.
It was a Mickey Mouse. And
Huh.
I just, I want it to be much more easier. I would like a hell of a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to
I
click
think.
on a photo
Yeah.
and swipe it to the printer and say print. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
easy I want it to be.
Yeah. That would be cool. I mean, even if it scaled it down and everything, but yeah, I bought
Right,
him
like
that printer.
you should be able to type in 1/87 scale, done,
Yeah.
and it print to that scale.
Yeah, that would be nice. But I bought him that printer, a few years ago, and well, shoot, that would have been probably almost 6 years ago now, but
Oh wow.
maybe five, 3, 4, anyways. And I bought him all kinds of different filaments for it, and he printed a bunch of those fidget spinners and other stuff that he was into, like throwing stars and that type of stuff. But he used it for a few months. That was it. It probably has
Yeah.
that much dust sitting on it.
I have this thing that came with the printer to tell you and show you what it can print. And I
Yeah,
love it. It's a skull that's like all hollowed out and webbed everywhere. And it came with the printer. This was an option that I could have printed. And I said, well, I already have this. Let's print the other uh, design that's on the file. And it printed out I shut it off before I printed the whole Mickey Mouse.
yeah,
But I thought maybe if I shut it off, I could turn it right back on. It would just start from where it left off. Nope, doesn't do that.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't have its head, but who cares? That's as much as I've done in
yeah.
the whole year I've had this printer.
Yeah, it'd be, that resin 3D printer, that'd be cool, like I said, for detailed parts or, for like my fuel loading facility for valves and
Right. I mean,
load
that thing can
heads and
print such
all that type
fine
of stuff.
detail on such small scale. It's totally worth getting and learning, but I still don't have one. So,
Yeah, yeah, there's that fellow's name, Dana Stratton or something like that.
oh yeah,
He's posting quite a bit of stuff. It looks like he's getting better at that 3D printing, and then there's all kinds
yeah,
of guys doing it.
he's getting really good. I just talked to him a little while ago. He's going to be on an upcoming uh, podcast or upcoming loaded up
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, I'll tell you, his will probably be more interesting than mine. But
I don't know. I mean, so I'm gonna be honest, man. The whole podcast idea was so we see your model posted online and you write a little description. That's all we get from you. Most
right,
people don't know you,
right,
knows nothing about you unless we meet you at a meet or a train show or whatever. And if you're too busy to do any of that, then we never get to know you at all. We can see
right,
what you, for the most part, like because of what you post, but we don't know you. And say we're not friends with you on Facebook and we literally just see what you post in a group, then we
right,
don't know you at all. So this whole podcast was mostly to get the viewers that pay attention to what gets posted to see, hey, this is what you look like. This is who you are. This is what I
right,
like to build. It was like a get to know you kind of thing.
right.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if he has a product that he's pushing or whatever. We were getting to know Dana. We're getting
right,
to know you. We're getting to know all of everybody that's on the
right.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever actually had a real profile picture of me. It's always, I think right now it's of
Oh,
my new
I've
German
never had
Shepherd
one of
pup.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
it's
never had one of me. I've kept the same profile pic on Facebook for the last 7 years
yeah.
because I don't care to
Well,
change it.
well, and I've always like watching these things, and you see, like you say, you see somebody on Facebook, you just see their picture, but you don't hear
Right.
the way they,
Yeah, right.
how they sound, and
Exactly.
you get something in your head. Okay, let me think. This guy's gonna, and then they talk, and you're like, man, that's
That is
totally
so funny to
different than
say
what
that
you thought.
because I hear my own voice in my head and I feel like I sound relatively decent. But when I listen to myself on all these videos, I can't stand the way I sound. I
Oh,
hate it.
same here. Same here. It's yeah, it's different.
So I
I
don't
looked
I
that
don't
up. I
watch
looked
the
that up.
video.
Yeah, I looked. Oh, I probably won't watch it either. But I looked it up, and you know why you sound different when you record yourself.
I
Then
watched something along the same lines of that.
yeah, just
Yeah, it's like a equilibrium of how you see yourself because you were born hearing yourself. You weren't
right,
born listening to yourself.
right,
So
right.
you always hear it differently than how it actually sounds,
Yeah,
maybe.
and let me tell you, I sound pretty stupid. I think when
I
it's
mean,
recorded.
I'll be honest, out of everybody I talk to, and I'm a pretty good people person, so I will go out and just talk to people.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
you sound normal. You sound relatively normal. There's nothing wrong with how you sound, how your pronunciation is, how you say your words. It all sounds good. And even how you talk about what you talk about, it all comes out decent.
right,
Um, there's some people out there that they can't talk. They're not people. They can't talk. They're super introverts, so they don't have any clue on how to carry a conversation whatsoever. And when they
right.
try to, you can definitely tell they shouldn't be doing that because they just haven't figured it out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I talk.
Luckily, I haven't had any of those people on the podcast yet.
They just have somebody sitting there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like to go out and talk to people. I talk to everybody. A lot of times, I'll make some smart comment to somebody, and now because everybody's wearing face masks,
Right.
they
It's
look at
harder
you like,
to get, yeah.
yeah,
It's harder to
and
see that you're trying to tell a joke possibly
yeah,
by the way your facial expression ends up looking after you say it compared to you can't see it at all. So you
yeah,
might be serious.
yeah. No, I joke around with everybody,
I
say
do
some
too.
things that,
I haven't joked a lot on the podcast because I don't personally know everybody I'm talking to. So I
right,
don't want to just come out as my normal self and just be completely sarcastic and probably insincere as a comedy standpoint. Because
yeah,
I'll make fun of anything and everything. I have no filter on what I deem funny, and I don't care if you find it funny. But with this podcast, and I don't know you, I don't want to just come out
yeah.
like that and you think, oh, what an asshole.
Oh yeah,
I
oh yeah.
hate that
Trust me.
guy.
Yeah, I say some
Yeah,
pretty.
it's all good,
Yeah,
man.
my
Sounds like you
wife.
and me are a lot alike.
Yeah, she'll look at me sometimes and be like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, I have a
it's
different
so
type of
funny.
sense of humor, and
Oh, so do I, dude. I had a guy that sat right next to me in my building, um, recently lose his leg, because of some infection that happened. And as soon as he texted me and told me they had to amputate, the thoughts came flooding in. And then when he came back, he texted me the night before and says, "Don't worry, I'm completely understanding of my situation." And he started making jokes, and I think it was a defense mechanism. If maybe he made it maybe what I say might not be as bad as what he said, kind of thing. Mine
yeah,
were way worse than what his were, but he said, "Just let it go. I already know who you are. I know what you're about. Just let it fly."
yeah,
And the supervisor was pissed at me. My coworkers were mad at me. The women were disgusted by me completely.
yeah,
But I had authorization first, so I let it go. The floodgates opened. And I told my wife, and she was disgusted beyond belief. She said, "How
yeah,
dare you? What if he ends up killing himself because of that?" I said, "He said I could do it.
yeah,
If he kills himself, that's on him then. He gave me the permission." But yeah, when I go to like these meets, like the Amherst show in uh, Massachusetts, I kind of like my mellow self. I tone it down big time because I don't know
right.
anybody up there, and I don't want to just come out a narcissist and conceited and just rude to everybody.
Yeah, and then
But
now these days you got to watch what you say. So
right,
it's
and that's the biggest problem. I mean,
yeah,
my favorite movie of all time is Blazing Saddles, all time. And you
Yeah.
couldn't make that movie today. You couldn't even approach a movie studio and says, "Hey, what do you think?" They just throw it out the window right away because that whole movie is just one big racist joke.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I've watched some of it. I mean, it was funny, but
It's
I can't sit
it's
and
a certain
watch
kind of
anything.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Oh,
can't.
wow.
It's
Your
either
ADD starts that quick.
yeah, I'm either asleep or yeah,
You're
I gotta
bored
get
of
up.
it already.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's yeah. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I mean, I have a TV in here, but I don't
Yeah.
have it on. I like to watch you know, music like Access TV is pretty good. Uh, I just
So
I
when
don't
you
really
say you
watch a
like
whole lot of TV.
when you like listening to music, does the music seem to be just enough because the song's only like maybe 3-4 minutes long, and then you're on to the next song, and then you're on to the next song? Does that seem to
Well,
work a lot better because it's in shorter spurts?
the thing about it is, it really irritates my wife as we're driving down the road and be listening to the music, or even in the house or whatever. I'm constantly changing it, so I never actually
Even
listen to the
before the
whole
song's
song.
over? Oh, geez.
Yeah, yeah. So and it's not that you know I don't know. I mean, it's I
Your
sing a
brain's
lot.
working. It's going. It's
Yeah,
going.
I
Yeah.
can't sing, but everybody tells me I can. I don't think I can, but
But you sing along either in your head or out loud, but
oh,
not like
yeah.
concert loud.
I mean, well, I mean, people
Maybe
pull up
sometimes.
when we're driving down the road. I'll song be on the radio and or whatever, and yeah, I don't know. My dad sang in his band, but I guess I don't know. Yeah, I listen to the music and I could be in a grouchy ass mood. Then
You hear the right song,
I
puts you
listen
in a
to
good mood.
yeah. I think that's with everybody. But
Yeah, I've said this at work plenty of times. Like I said, like they stopped us from being able to listen to music on our phones at our desks because they said we weren't working as much. But I said, listen, music, like in the morning you're driving to work, you're listening to music, or you're listening to talk radio, whatever you're listening to, you're listening to what you like, because you don't just have something that you can't stand playing, or else you would change it. So
right.
what you wake up driving into work with is what's going to put you in the mood that you're in for probably the rest of the day. If you came into work and you listen to like the best music that you love and you're like, now I'm ready, heck yeah, let's just get rid of this day and I'm good to go. But if you were listening to something crappy and you couldn't stand it, you're going to go into work just in a bad mood
Oh yeah.
already. It's a given. So that, like you said, you think it's with everybody. It is with everybody. Everybody listens to something on the way to their job or their way to their next destination, and
Right.
ultimately puts you in the mood that you're going to be in when you get there from whatever you were listening to on the way there.
Yeah. Most of the time it's always in some sort of mood that when I get to the shop, the guys don't want to hear me. You know,
It's
tell them
funny though,
what to
because
do.
yeah, it's funny because the transfer with music into uh, the modeling, as much as I don't care to make any of my model cars move, like RC wise, like drive down the road, I don't really
Right.
need it to do that. I don't care for that. I think it's neat, but I don't need it to do that. The music and the lights effects, I do want to do that. Like I have
Oh
that
yeah.
Cheech and Chong up in smoke car. I want to
Yep.
get a smoke machine underneath it, and I want the music from the movie to play in the background
Yeah.
of that, just having it put on a module and the smoke coming up and the music playing. So everybody really, really gets what that scene is and what's going on with that car.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the scene where he's parked in the median and he's like, "Hey man, that was my driving."
That's exactly it. That's why I want the smoke, because I want to get a cop car
Yeah.
behind it, the police officer at the front or the door, and then the smoke just barreling out with the music playing.
Yeah.
I think that would be like the best little diorama scene kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
think we're parked, man. Yeah. Yeah, that first time
Got
I
your
seen that
license?
movie.
I think it's on the back of the car.
Yeah, first time I seen that movie, well, probably with a lot of people, but I mean, I pissed my pants. I was laughing so hard, you know. It
Oh
was,
yeah, it's one of the best movies ever.
yeah.
It just is. Unfortunately, I only really truly like the beginning of the movie where the 64 Impala is, because I
Yeah,
think the best scenes are in that 64 Impala. The rest of the movie is with the hemp van that it was before my time.
oh yeah,
I'm not into the marijuana thing. I didn't really care for the van. I like the car. Do more with the car. Let's have a part
right.
two with all the
Yeah,
car.
yeah. I like when he pulled over because he thought he was picking up a woman,
Right,
and
right.
at the beginning of the movie, hey, double
Yeah.
bubble. Yeah. Then
Yeah,
he kept
I
making
think.
trips back and forth, and he's like, "Damn, what? You moving in?"
And then he gets that joint out. It's the size of a damn baby sub sandwich.
Yeah, he's like,
I think
yeah,
it's got part Labrador in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny. I have a Chong. I never got the Cheech figurine, but I have a Chong figure hanging up there.
oh, that's
I,
cool.
I'm not sure which movie that's from, but it has.
Yeah, I got I don't have the car sitting there, but I I made the Cheech and Chong to sit next to the car. Turn this around. Oh, yeah. Oh, just hit it again. I don't know if you can see it, but um, down there, the
Oh
two Cheech and Chong figures,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Cheech was holding a joint, but the joint fell off.
Is that Chong when he picked him up off
It's
the street?
it it's well, yeah, basically I because that's the only time um he's wearing that outfit and Chong's
Yeah,
wearing that outfit because I think
yeah.
at some point in the movie they changed their clothes. But yeah, because I have the Impala, and so I wanted them to look like they did when they were in the Impala.
Right. Yeah. That's a that's a classic.
Yeah, and that's actually the only real movie I love of theirs. The rest of their movies I just kind of like.
Yeah, they're kind of.
That movie I love.
I guess if you watched them stoned or something, they might be funny. But
Right.
yeah, Up in Smoke was probably the best one.
Yeah, and I think it was their first one, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
It was
know.
before my time.
Yeah,
But
that's not
yeah, I
really
love
my.
the car.
Yeah, that pot thing really isn't my whole ordeal. So, but yeah,
And
Cheech and Chong, they're funny.
my Back to the Future dioramas and cars, I kind of want to have each scene that I've made with some kind of sound effect from like that scene or something. Maybe constantly having the music, like the Back to the Future music playing in the background all the time. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's like because
yeah,
I take my stuff to shows, so
right,
when I set it down on the table, it would just be that much better to have the music playing just slightly enough so you can hear it, but not blaring out to where it overpowers the diorama.
right. I mean, that's. I want to have a. I'd like to have like an outdoor concert venue here on my
That'd
layout
be
someplace.
awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
but like these honky tonks, as they're called, there, I want to. They're going to have interiors and the flashing lights, and
Yeah.
get some of those sugar
Dude,
cube speakers or whatever, and put some,
I just,
so it
well, I
could
didn't
play some music.
just
And
build it, but I built, can, is it picking it up? Where is it? Is it clear?
yeah, yeah, I see it there.
Yeah, I built that one. And the music guys are just on the bed of the trailer. So that's like a truck and trailer that you would haul to a car show, and then the
Right.
band just gets on the trailer and starts playing the music.
Are those Prizer or however you say that figures?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to
However you
look
say
for
that.
some of those.
Oh, wait
Yeah,
a
that's
minute.
one
No,
one.
I think those are Woodland Scenic ones.
Oh, that's one thing I haven't bought yet is figures. I was gonna pick some up at that hobby shop yesterday, and I walked out and forgot.
Man, those
But
things are expensive. I mean,
yeah,
for
they are.
such a small product, it's just so expensive.
Yeah, I was thinking of buying some of those. If I did like a outdoor concert thing, I'd buy one of those Chinese
Right.
bags on eBay. You get like
Yeah.
100 or 200 of them for $8. They're
Right.
unpainted,
That's
but
what I did. There's only
yeah,
like 4 or 5 different designed people in there, but if you just chop off arms and reglue them in different positions,
right.
then you get more options and
Oh
just
yeah,
paint them different or whatever. But yeah, I did that. I had like 100 of them for like $8.99.
yeah, yeah. I want to do that, but yeah, each of these places. I mean, I have you'd have to look on online, but next to Tootsie's, there in Nashville, they have a building that's similar to this, and it's like a record store.
Oh, right on.
So this is going to be the record store, and then I've bought. I have that. It's a Walters theater. I can't remember the. I can't see it.
Oh, they don't make too many of them, so I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it has the mark,
Yeah,
the round marquee,
right.
and the yeah.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
that,
because
and then
that would fit that downtown street perfectly.
yeah, I really kind of want to make like the Ryman Auditorium. Um, that's right down in that area as well, from my understanding. But and then I have all kinds of stuff written down that I want to do.
That's cool.
Different buildings. I want to do Sun Records down there in Memphis.
Hmm.
I mean, that's not Nashville, of course, but I'd like to do Sun
Right.
Records, and then there a couple of recording studios there, Muscle Shoals, Alabama, like Leonard Skinner and those guys
Yeah.
recorded. I want to put something like that, a building
Well,
similar
also in
to that.
Nashville, American Pickers took over an old, I think it was an old car factory building.
Yeah,
So you could
something
just
like
get a
that.
rid brick car factory and put American Pickers or
Yeah, I want it
antique
like
archaeology on the
yeah,
outside or something.
Packard or something like that. Car.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I do know they have a Johnny Cash museum right on a side road of that main road that you're
right.
talking about that you're doing. They have a Johnny Cash museum like 3 or 4 buildings down that you could put right on the corner technically if you have
Yeah,
a side
yeah,
street on that road.
yeah. This is 4 feet wide, so I'm gonna have this side's gonna be like all the honky tonks. Then there's gonna be another street um, with those same style buildings, um,
Nice.
and then I think on the far end it's gonna be I don't know where I'm gonna put the fire department. This might just all be uh,
Rearranged.
town. Yeah, who knows? It's nothing set in stone yet. I got a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of stuff I want to do, but no time to do it.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Because I noticed working from home, I definitely never want to go back to my building now. Never. Ever, ever, ever. Because the amount of modeling I'm getting done on the clock, amazing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, your boss is gonna
What?
watch this.
He won't. I didn't tell nobody that I work with that I do this. So,
Yeah,
and it's crazy too, because for some reason, I don't know why YouTube has done this, but you can't just type in Halfass Presents. It won't pull this channel up.
uh,
You literally have to be sent this and then, or me share this link to somebody for you to be able to find it. It
right.
won't, because there's a Halfass podcast by, done by some other people. Then there's a Halfass Customs
Yeah, I seen that.
bunch of videos. And that guy is not me. And it drove me crazy to know that he took my name. But I mean, I didn't patent this name, so I guess it's not technically mine.
Yeah,
But yeah. So there's several things on YouTube with the half-ass title. So this, for
right.
some reason, maybe because it's so new, doesn't want to pull up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they're not going to find it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not. But yeah,
Yeah,
I get a lot done,
I
which
wish
is
I had.
great.
Yeah, at work, I don't have time to do any of it. I don't have much time to do any of it at home. I could be out here doing some right now, but we're doing this.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's okay. I don't build while I'm doing this neither. I
yeah,
just sit at this desk and let people talk, and I talk to them and back and forth.
right.
I got a laptop that's right here that I got to try to keep on. I have to keep playing with it like every 2 minutes so it won't go dark on me. Because then it starts to end up looking like this, and
Huh.
that might be too dark. So
Oh, that's your studio lighting, huh?
yeah, so William Sampson. I had this light and I kept pushing it down like this because I couldn't figure out how to put it up. I didn't want it like this. I said that's too bright. Let me push it down. And I was doing a lot of the podcasts like this, and it seemed to work. And he said, "Dude, turn your light, face it straight to the wall, and then the light will bounce off the wall onto you."
Right.
And I said, "Holy crap! Doesn't that look so much better?" I did like 20 podcasts like this. And all I had to do was ask you, and you gave me the best trick of ever. But
Yeah.
yeah, with it like this, and then my computer screen going dead or going off, it just was a hassle. So that's what
Yeah.
I do in my podcast. I just play with my laptop to keep the thing on, screen on.
Yeah.
But it's
Here's a little. There's that low
your
patrol.
custom rig.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
thing. As much as I don't care for those trucks, that little thing is so neat looking.
Yeah. That's those decals are all by William Brillinger. Of course, it's not done, but this was one of those Lindbergh Ford something or others, and then those
It's
fenders.
cool though.
Those,
I love that you chopped it. You did chop it, right? I mean, it's
yeah.
not the cab isn't that that short, and
Right.
then you
Yeah.
chopped it at the bottom.
Yep. Then those fenders came from a guy. He used to go by the name Large Car. Did it again. Large Car Model Builder, and he was Damon Montague or something like that. He's out of Texas. I used to buy a lot of stuff from him, but from my understanding, it sounds like he may have passed away a few years ago. So, but he got out of the 187th scale, and I think
Well,
old
check
Mark.
this out. If you're in the future needing specialty stuff that maybe you don't think you can do, that William Sampson is a graphic designer by trade. He makes all his decals, and he said if I ever need anything, just let him know. So he was
Yeah,
in one of the podcasts, I think like the second or third podcast. Um,
right.
so if you need something custom that you don't think you can pull off yourself, he's
Well, I could have
a
did
very
these,
good name.
and but I had they're just flames
Oh,
all
that's
over,
cool.
pinstripes
Well,
and
hey,
stuff. But
I love
he,
pinstripes and flames.
yeah, but William Brillinger did these, and he didn't. I can't remember how much I paid. Probably, I think that truck cost me over $100 to build. Buying the
Wow.
Lindbergh kits. I found 3 of them one time on eBay, and they were like $40 or something. And then the decals were another. Gosh, I can't remember. He didn't charge me too much, but a lot of times I make my own decals, and I
Yeah.
have all the stuff to do it. Just
I
once again,
normally go to a guy named Dave's Decals. He does a lot of building decals, like
right,
30s, 40s, 50s, 60s style building decals. And he did all the Ghostbusters decals. He's done a lot of decals for me. And then
yeah,
William tells me he can do decals. So I haven't needed decals made as of recent. So I haven't hit up neither of them. But Dave's Decals usually is the guy that I go to.
yeah. the cool thing with the Alps printer that I have, you can actually print metallic gold and metallic silver, and
That
you
is
know,
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Let me tell you just why that is so awesome. Passenger vehicle 50s, 60s trim, body trim. Nobody's making that. And if you can do like a silver chrome look for a body trim going down the car, even if it's silver, it's better than
Yeah.
having to paint it yourself.
Let me grab something. I'll show you real quick. I mean, when you get to printing those real fine lines, these ones are gold. I gotta find the camera here. You probably can't see them. Let me turn the light on my phone here. See if I can get it to reflect. That's too much light. Anyways,
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's gold. Oh, that's so cool because it's so thin.
yeah, and
This gold strip is
that
like,
is the,
oh, I love
and
that.
then I
Oh,
did the,
yeah. Dude, that is awesome. I want that printer.
yeah.
You have
Well,
no idea how much gold and chrome I would print if I had that.
it's tough to find those printers, and when you do, it's you got to open your wallet. I've had mine for 15 years or so, or more,
Wow.
actually longer than that, probably about 18 years. And
So
but the ink
if
and
it,
stuff is getting to where it's so expensive.
so is it actually ink that's printing the
It's
chrome
a
and the gold, or is
well,
it?
it's a dry ribbon. Um, it's I'll go grab one real quick.
This is amazing. I never knew outside of the model car world you can print chrome or gold on a printer.
This is a Chinese or Japanese or Vietnamese aftermarket one. Um, but it's just a cartridge like this. Almost looks like a
Tape
cassette tape
deck. Yeah.
um, for
For the
kids that
old
don't
boom
know.
boxes.
Yeah, for kids that don't know what those are, they're tapes with a ribbon and they play music. But you know, this one is it's hard to see, but this one is gold,
That
and
is awesome.
but this stuff is, I mean, for what you pay for the cartridge for the amount of ink you get is, I think
It's
these are
upside
like
down.
$30 per cartridge now,
Wow.
which the toner for the other printer is like $250 for a toner cartridge,
Oh my
but
gosh.
you can print, a couple thousand pages with that. But I have
Wow.
just a regular old laser printer that I used to use for making my decals or whatever. Uh, I have toner cartridges for that came with the machine that haven't ever burned all the way through. Because when you're printing decals, you're not burning up a
Right.
whole lot of material. Now with
No.
these, let's see if I can see, like this one. I printed. You see the two dark
Oh,
lines
two
right there?
strips. Yeah.
That's yeah, and then the rest
That's
of it's
what
just the
got on the
waves.
decal.
Right.
Oh
I just printed.
wow.
I think I just printed these stripes for. He goes by on Facebook. He goes by Newman Bobicelli or something like that. But I
Huh.
printed some stripes for him, and
Yeah, that's crazy
yeah,
because the rest of that strip is
a
you won't
waste.
use it because
Right.
oh man.
But that's the way it is, I guess. But I've
Well, so
made all.
technically you would want to instead of just printing two stripes, you would want to load that whole entire strip full of individual stripes so you can use
Yeah,
it.
I
And then,
printed them a whole. I printed them a whole sheet. Well, not a whole sheet, maybe a half sheet. But yeah, I can't. I don't remember exactly how many stripes were on there, but
that's crazy.
there were stripes and then some words of whatever I had
Yeah. Because, the
made
big
for
thing
them.
in like the 60s and 70s was like gold leaf, spun gold leaf writing on gassers and race cars and stuff.
Right.
That would be super neat.
I was gonna try and print. Maybe just print like a square. Um,
To see if it would work.
yeah, see if you could actually spin it. The gold leaf.
Right. Well, I wonder if you didn't spin it, if the design would come out spun if you had if the printer saw that it was already swirled. Then
I
I
don't.
wonder if it would. No,
I don't
I mean I
know.
don't know how that printer works, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is not. I mean, it would on the laser printer because that's digital or whatever. But this is a. I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Either way, it's still cool
I
that it
mean that.
prints out gold
Yeah,
and
I mean
chrome
they have photo
or silver.
uh, photo ink cartridges for this Alps thing. That I mean, you must have been able to print photos, so maybe maybe it could. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to do it. But
That's it's so weird because I've been seeing a lot of advertisement on Facebook lately of these like laser etchers that can like etch designs into like plastic or etch designs into leather or something.
right,
And and they're getting really cheap. Like you can get one for like $39 or $49. And
yeah,
they're like a little laser
right.
circle eye, and it sits on a stand, and it shows in the video you can put like your wallet down here and it'll print, or it'll burn a design into your thing like within seconds.
Right.
It's so
Well,
quick. And I
yeah.
thought,
Hold on.
how cool.
I got
Okay.
I got something else for you there.
So what I was saying, I thought that laser etcher would be cool to print designs on the roof, the hood, or the trunk of a car. That was my idea.
I actually bought one
Oh, you did?
a few years ago, and
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was pretty neat. I mean, it just has like a little 3-inch square bed that you can.
Yeah. I mean,
But
if you're doing a 187 scale car, perfect.
well,
Or a
the
hood on a
thing
125th scale car.
the thing about it is it worked for a little bit, then my computer took a dump, and I had to buy a new computer.
Oh,
So I plug this into the new Windows, and it can't locate a driver. So this is
oh,
just
geez.
the dust collector.
Well, so the new
But
ones that I saw, uh, I guess it's Bluetooth to a phone.
huh,
So you don't need to plug it in like hardwired. You just
but
download the app that it comes with and then create a design from the app, and then but I mean I don't have one, so I don't know if it's that easy or
yeah,
not. It
I wanted to.
shows that it's that easy.
Yeah, I got that to make some signs, and um, it worked really good on wood, but that's about
Right.
it. I mean the
That's
other
that's
material that
been the problem. Yeah,
yeah
because
the other
it doesn't
material,
prove that it works any better on anything else. I
right.
mean, it shows you leather and it shows you wood. Those are the only two things on the video. I thought maybe plastic would work, but who knows?
Well,
I don't know.
I burnt. I mean, that's what it's doing. It's burning the image into it, into a
Right.
phone case, like on the
Yeah.
OtterBox. On the
Right.
inside of one time, I burnt into that.
Did that work at all?
Yeah,
Or did
I
it
mean,
come out like crap?
no, because the OtterBox, this is kind of a rubber material, and
Mm-hmm.
the it it did the image really good, and then but the smoke that comes off that stuff is toxic. You know, even
Wow.
I mean, even burning the wood in that room in there, just yeah, it's all the formaldehyde and toxins in the
Oh,
glues on the
geez.
wood that
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Depending on what you decided to burn, might try to
yeah.
kill you while you were burning it in there.
But I mean, it's a cool idea. You know, I put a piece of wood, little block of wood in there, and I took a picture of my daughter's face and put it on there, and it
Hmm.
like burnt the
See,
photograph into the wood, and I mean, it's pretty
that's
cool.
what I
But
was thinking. I was thinking that same idea for cars. Like, say you had your family portrait and you shrunk it down and you put it on the side of a diesel trailer, or something. I thought
yeah,
like ideas like that.
well, I mean, I tried some plastic in it, and it just kind of melted it, and I mean, it
That
doesn't.
does make sense.
This thing,
Yeah,
this I think I paid like $50 or $60 for the thing. It's not some
that's not
fancy.
bad then.
I'd really like
Right.
to have, a laser cutter of sort that can cut styrene,
Oh yeah.
because I have lots of stuff that I would like to do, um, but
Right.
I don't have
Yeah,
that
no, a
kind of.
laser cutter for that would be great. Maybe like clean, crisp edges
Yeah,
instead of using a,
like
a
Mark
Dremel
Kulak's
and
or Kulak or however you say his last name. He always posts his trailers and stuff that are all cut out of styrene. That's the type of cutter I would like to have.
oh, is that how he makes his trailers? I
I,
never
yeah,
even looked
yeah,
into that.
I believe they're laser cut styrene.
Wow. Yeah, that would be neat. That would definitely be neat. So you get your resin 3D printer, you get that laser cutter, you get maybe a few other things, and you got the perfect shop to
Yeah,
create and build whatever you want.
yeah, I wouldn't mind having a mill, like a benchtop mill and a lathe, um, as
That
well.
would be cool.
To, you could turn your own aluminum fuel tanks and or whatever,
Right.
light poles, whatever.
Yeah, I honestly just want the resin 3D printer. I think anything I could possibly think of, if I could get somebody to design it or I could figure out how to design it, it would just do whatever I wanted. I mean, I had the feeling it would do that. Like I've been wanting like lowrider spoked rims. Like
Right.
uh who's the company? There's a company in Germany or I don't know. There's a company that makes photo etch spoked rims for like Ferraris and European sports cars, and they come with like one one set or two set for each tire, each rim. So you have a front piece and a back piece. They go like this, and one is one design and the other one is a different design, but it looks like a 60s style racing Ferrari rim. And I've been wanting to thinking like if you had a 3D resin printer, it might be able to pull that off. But I can't get anybody to create that, so I don't know.
Right.
The one guy I have making my lowrider wheels is Severin from he's from the Netherlands. He makes the lowrider bikes and the
Okay.
modern day motorcycles like the baggers and the custom choppers. He's created some, but he can't get the spokes to be individual. They are more like just lumped into each other, so it looks like the spoke, but it's
Right.
solid instead of hollow. I would love
Right.
to figure out how to make the spokes
Yeah, like
separate.
those
You can
wire
see through it. Yeah,
those wire type. Uh,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
The
that you see
lowrider
on
type
the.
wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured the printer has the capability, but I think you'd have to design it in such a way for something that small for it to be able to understand how to make it that small.
Right.
Because the lowrider tire is like a 13-inch, 14-inch tire in real life or rim. when a regular tire, solid aluminum tire, could be a 15 or 16 inch. And then for a regular passenger car, and then you get into the bigger passenger cars, and now they're going to 18-inch rims, and trucks are going to 20-inch rims. So that would be a lot easier to create than something that's 13 inches
Right.
in our scale and 187 scale.
Yeah,
So I'm
that would be
trying to figure that out.
tiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
that what do they call those? Like 1,000 spoke rims or what
100
are the
spokes.
100
They're 100
spokes?
spokes, yeah. You can get
Yeah,
rims that have more than 100, like 120, but that's just too many spokes. They And then you get like the really old school kind, like are from the 60s and 70s, that like 70 spoke or 60 spoke, and they come down from the top of the rim, come down, and they angle out to the center hub,
all right,
and and they crisscross, and
right.
they call them true spokes for the 60s and 70s style lowrider rim. But yeah, I mean, even that would be cool to get something that had individual spokes that you can see in such a small little tire.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, me
Wishful
neither.
thinking, maybe.
There's lots of stuff I'd like to have as well, but I just don't
Yeah.
have the sense enough to make it.
Right. Oh, I do. I most definitely don't. It's funny because I have customers or I have people ask, "Hey, man, can you make this?" And I'm like, "No, I can't physically make it. I need something to start off with, and then I can try and make it somewhat close. But if there's not an actual start, I can't just pull it out of thin air and make it.
Right.
No,
I
I
wish.
don't have that printer yet. I don't have the skills to work the printer if I did."
Yeah, me neither. I sure would like to though, but again, it all
Well,
boils down to time.
you you don't look like you're ancient, and you still have what it looks like plenty of time on this earth to eventually get one and then
Yeah.
get
Oh
the
yeah.
the things that we need. We just need you to get some time so you can get it to play with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no point to have it if you don't know how to use it.
Yeah. Well, if I don't continue on this diet that I'm on, my time might be short lived. But I got to I want to lose some weight, but I've done good so far. My goal is 100 pounds, but um, yeah, I mean I'm only 41, so
You're not 40. You're 41 and I'm 40, so we're like the same age.
yeah, you should get
I look at it
you
like
know
this: the average human lifespan across the world is 80 years. So we're halfway there.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
halfway till, we can't do anymore.
yeah,
So you got time.
yeah. Hopefully, yeah. That's trying to lose weight and get into shape again. That would help prolong things a little bit. I think.
Possibly. Who knows? There's plenty
Yeah, who
of people
knows?
that have been overweight and lived forever, way too long.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't say plenty. There's a few people that have definitely lived longer than they should have and been way overweight. So you never know.
yeah. You never
I
know.
mean,
I
my
mean,
my
it's
my wife's grandma lived to like 93 and smoked a pack to 2 packs a day since she was 13 and never stopped. Lived at
shoot,
93. So who knows? Everybody's
man.
different. You may live until you're 100. The
Yeah, you
same
never know.
condition you're in, maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah. My wife had a great aunt. I think she lived 105,
Holy moly.
and
That's crazy.
yeah, I think she drank at least one beer a day. Um, and
Kept her alive.
yeah, and then I think towards the end, I think she was drinking like a shot of Jack Daniels or something a day or something like that. But yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. My dad was a raging alcoholic, so I
Well,
thought,
there you
hell,
go.
I
That
don't
keeps you
think
from
I ever
wanting
want
to
to.
be that too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really drink. I do maybe once a night I'll do like the wine cooler of beers. which isn't really a beer, I guess, compared to beer drinkers would say,
Yeah.
like the wine cooler. I don't drink beer. I don't like beer. So that wine cooler is as close as I get. Um, and then I don't really drink hard liquor. I mean, if I go to a bar, maybe once every 4 months, maybe. But yeah, I don't drink like that. So, and I don't smoke neither. I do a lot of secondhand smoke. My wife
Yeah.
smokes like a chimney.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. In the house?
Sometimes.
Uh,
So like this room that I'm in, this was my model room. And then when we started, like my display case is back there. And then when we started to have to work from home, we set up a table right there with our computers.
oh, okay.
And tell you what, since she's not in the office, she feels like this is the outdoors or something.
Yeah.
She'll just smoke right at the table.
Yeah, no,
We leave the window open, so I guess it's not as bad as it could be.
yeah.
But either
Yeah,
way, I mean, yeah, I don't
I mean,
smoke neither.
I chewed for a long time, but
I never did that. I
I
don't
don't
understand the point of that, but I
I
don't
don't
understand the
recommend it.
point of smoking either. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, this
recommend it.
this Mike's is about as much as I do. And I only drink maybe like 1 can a night, maybe. That's if there's nothing else in the house to drink, and I don't want to drink
Yeah.
water because water don't taste good.
Yeah, I've been trying to drink a lot of water, and I switched. I'd have like a regular soda once a day or once every couple of days, but since it's been on this diet and stuff, I switched to diet soda, and that stuff probably kill
That's
me.
better.
That stuff will probably kill me with all that artificial sweetener, and it'll probably kill me sooner than the actual
Right.
soda. But
Who knows? Maybe.
yeah, we'll see. But
That's good that you're on a diet. I mean, my doctor told me I had to stop drinking soda and I would lose weight. And so I stopped and I didn't lose weight at all. And he goes, "How much soda do you drink?" And I said, "Maybe 2 cans a day." And he goes, "That's not enough soda. You have to be drinking a lot more soda to be losing weight." I said, "I was following your instructions. You said I would lose weight if I stopped. I didn't lose nothing."
yeah,
So I started drinking soda again because I wasn't losing any and I wasn't gaining any. So I said, I must not be drinking enough to begin with.
yeah. There's this gal that we know. She's a long time friend of one of my cousins, and I mean, she drank Mountain Dew all day long, every day since she was young, little kid,
That's my wife.
and
That's
she
literally my
actually
wife.
she actually has Parkinson's disease now, and
Because of it, or just
well,
she ended up getting it?
there's a possibility that that's part of it.
Wow.
But she had to quit drinking it because it ate a hole in her stomach, and
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
worst soda out there, even though
yeah,
it's one of the best tasting sodas out there.
yeah, that's pretty
That's why
good.
most people drink it. It's funny, I was
Yeah,
watching American Pickers, and they went to the birthplace of Mountain Dew, and they said Mountain Dew used to be a gunk, like a super thick slime, or like molasses. If anybody knows what molasses is,
oh yeah,
I don't even still know what it is. They just said super thick, like way thicker than honey, but it's like a honey. They said Mountain Dew, it was just dew for liquor. It was to sweeten up the liquor, and they would mix it with liquor, and then people didn't want the liquor part of it. They wanted the dew, and so they started making that a Mountain Dew because it came from the mountains of Tennessee.
yeah, yeah. The White Lightning instead of Mountain Dew. Yeah, with
Right. Which one is
moon,
better?
moonshine.
Which one will kill you quicker, the Mountain Dew or the moonshine?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably both. Who knows? But
Yeah, I had an old friend tell me one time. He goes, he is a hillbilly from the hills down there in Georgia. He lived just south of Chattanooga, there in Trenton, Georgia, and he said he'd like to drink moonshine. He goes, but it burnt, really bad going down. He
oh, it
said it
does.
burnt. 10 times worse coming out. So
Oh,
yeah,
I did. I've had a couple glasses over a 12-year period of living here in North Carolina. Probably two full glasses of moonshine in that whole time frame, and you can only drink that much if you're not used to it because it's like 160 proof. It wants to kill you while you drink it.
oh yeah,
So you barely can sip it if you're not used to it because it's just so strong. Like they say whiskey is like a sipping liquor, I guess. You just sip it and it constantly keeps you warm or something. That you can't even barely sip like white lightning. It's just
yeah,
way too strong.
yeah. You
But
look at it. And,
right, just
yeah,
smelling it will make you drunk.
yeah,
But yeah, man. That's
yeah.
it's cool
I'm
that
not.
you have these ideas. It's cool
Oh
that
yeah,
you still kind of build. I mean, I know you wish you could probably build a lot more, but with your busy schedule and life and whatever, is what it is. But at least you're still in it. At least you didn't sell everything and turn that into a storage room. You know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
still have
yeah.
your hobby
Well,
room, so that's
well,
cool.
I was gonna gut it out and turn it in. Tear down this wall back here and turn it into a theater room. But
But then you don't watch movies, so that would
well,
have been a waste of a room.
it was for everybody else. But
Oh,
then yeah,
well, now you can keep it just for yourself. How about that? The
yeah,
heck with
that's what I'm
everybody
gonna do.
else.
I should have painted it. I mean, before I started everything, the walls are orange. Um, that's the way it was when we bought the house, and I just never painted it.
Well, my walls are the same color as the wall behind you because this was my son's room, and he wanted a sky wall, so we have like the stars and everything up there, and then clouds on the wall.
Yeah,
Um, so we just never repainted it either. And I don't plan on putting a train layout in here for that sky wall to be there. It's just I said screw it. I don't care how the walls look.
yeah, yeah,
It just ended up working out for my modules to sit right behind the wall.
yeah.
So, well, John, I don't know how long we've been talking. I never purposely timed this. I just let it go on for as long as it goes on for. Um,
Yeah.
I think even though you don't think you sound good or whatever, you may not even watch this. This was interesting. It was cool to get a glimpse into your life and to see what you like building and what you're working on and what your future adventures are, trying to complete stuff and trying to do more stuff with that Memphis, um, you know, downtown scene or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
it's
hope to.
it's it's neat.
Yeah, I hope to work on it.
Or Nashville
Yeah,
downtown scene.
Nashville. Hope to work on it a little bit more here. But we'll see. I mean, I get
Yeah,
I get the bug to come out here and mess around with it when I get home, and
right. Well,
but then I
that's
have
what's great about you still having it. That
yeah,
you can get that bug and actually do something a little bit more to it, you
right.
know?
Then I get home and I come out here and I'm working. I'm thinking, well, I probably should go in and see the family. I hadn't seen them all day.
Overrated. Your models are missing you.
Yeah, I guess live with them, see them every day, every morning and every evening when I get home.
Right.
But,
I mean, if they don't see you for a full day, then let them worry about it. But until then,
oh yeah,
no, it's family first. I get it. That's why I'm just lucky enough now to work from home to where I can like do it while I'm working and not
yeah,
have to take time away from my family and do it once I get home from work or whatever. I can not have to worry about taking time away from them because I'm working anyway. So
right.
it works out great for that purpose. But I'm afraid when this pandemic goes over and they decide to waste money on this huge big building to shove us all back in, that my builds will slow down tremendously. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this all pans out. Hopefully, something changes soon. course, don't want anybody sick and all that stuff. But
Right.
we need to get back to living, and these people that have been
Yeah.
out of work because of it, a
Right.
lot of people,
They said a quarter of the country lost their jobs and had to go on welfare.
yeah, a lot of people hurting, and it's.
That's
But
crazy.
I've been lucky, I haven't.
Right. You and me both.
Yeah, I
You were
didn't have.
lucky to still keep your job and do what you're doing. I was lucky to be able to work from home and do what I'm
Right.
doing. So a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people aren't able to do that.
yeah, a lot of people aren't. That's things need to change so they can get back. Uh, you know.
Well, hopefully it does. I mean, like I said, we went back to stage one. So who knows how long this is going to last. I know everything event-wise for like model car shows, regular car shows, like fairs, whatever. I know all
Oh,
of that's pretty much out for the whole rest of the year.
oh yeah, same here.
So I think until next year comes around, that's when we'll probably be able to see something start to happen.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's going to take that long, but um, unless it gets worse and then it, goes into halfway of next year. But hopefully, it doesn't do that.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, it's
Right? Just a waiting game.
yeah, yeah. It is. It's too bad. But
Well, John, this was a pleasure. I hope in the future you'd like to come back on. I like
oh yeah,
to
yeah. I'll
once I
get
get
some.
done with. I was gonna say once I get done with so many people, I'll do like a season two maybe, and then
Yeah,
roll back through the list of people again, and
yeah.
see
I'll
where they're
I'll
at then and
I'll
whatever.
I'll try and have some things finished up.
I mean, if not, it's good to talk to you. I mean, I've seen your work for a long time. I see you post. I know on our instant messenger or our message board, I've messaged you like way back in, I don't know, 2014 when we first started talking. So I've known you for a long time, just never
Right.
really talked to you. So
Yeah.
it's good to talk to you. Um, I think the viewers are going to find it interesting. And I haven't had any bad comments. So even with the people that might not be into what you're into, still find the talking about the models, talking about the person building the models and their life. It all seems interesting in one
Oh
way
yeah.
or another,
Yeah. Everybody's interesting in their own way, and a
Yeah.
lot of us like myself are odd, and but
I mean, that's
yeah.
everybody. Everybody has their own little weirdness to them. I mean, I go to shows and I got all these tattoos and I got this shaved head, I got this weird old hat on, and they look at me and they're like, "You just don't fit into these train
Yeah.
shows, sir. What are you doing here?" And
Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm not into the trains as much as most people, but I'm still into it. So talk about odd. I'm definitely a sore figure in this train club that we're all in this
Oh yeah.
model car club.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
all good,
amazing.
man.
It's all walks of life that are into it. It's
I mean, I've said this
from
on other podcasts too. Like, I talk to plenty of people building stuff that I care nothing for. I mean, I talked to Theodore. He builds all those buses. I don't care
yeah.
about those buses, but it was so interesting to listen to his passion about them and
Right.
what he loves about them. And then, like, Robert Kelly talking about the cranes. I don't care nothing about cranes, but listening to his passion, listening to all the things he was talking about, it kept me like enthused in what he was saying and
Right.
wanting to hear what he had to say. And just like you, I mean, you have your train layout, your city scene that you're building and the diesel trucks that you're building. Not typically totally my thing. I like the building idea, but it's still like listening to what you feel about it, how your thoughts are and what you're planning,
Right.
that all the ideas and the different topics we were talking about by the 3D printing and the laser stuff. I mean, all of it's interesting stuff. And it's great
Oh
to
yeah.
talk to people that have the same passion for models and vehicles and whatever. So even though we're not alike, we're very similar with our
Oh yeah.
passion and our love
Yeah.
for the hobby.
We're all into the same thing, all into the
Yeah,
modeling, and it's
right. From all different walks of life, and we
yep,
all like the same stuff.
yep,
So
from guys that struggle to get stuff to guys that have more money than smarts. It's
yeah,
you know, and that's something else. I like. You'll see somebody posting looking for something, and I'm like, oh, well, I have that, and
right.
I'll
And I'm
just
not doing nothing with it.
yeah,
So
I just send it to them, and they're like, well, how much?
right.
Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah, I've
kind of
had it for so long, it's not even worth anything to me anymore. So
right.
here,
That's
if it's
kind
worth something to you, take it, use it.
yeah, that's kind of the thing. We're
Yeah, that's what's great
help
about this
everybody.
hobby.
And it's
Yeah,
but some guys that
it's awesome.
they're like, well, I have this. They're like, well, I'll give you $5 for it. Okay, but um, you're wanting $500 for it. They
Yeah.
my my thing's a piece of garbage, but theirs is a piece of gold. It's
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
but
I mean, you never know.
normally if somebody posts something they're looking for, and I have it and I'm not using it, I just give it away. Some guy was looking for some of the River Point Station, the high rail kits to make the for the
Yeah.
pickups,
Yeah, to
for
drive
the
on the tracks.
right. And guys were like, "Oh, I have this. You can have them $10 or something like that." I have a whole drawer full of River Point Station parts. So I just threw some in an envelope, and I, sent the guy a message. I asked him, are you still looking for those parts? And he's like, well, it depends. I said, I'm not going to charge you for them. I just give them to you for free. And he's like,
Right.
oh, yeah. So, and
That's
then,
interesting you say that, because now that you did say that, there's ideas floating in my head.
oh,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, what do they call that? Pay it forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what's great about this hobby is everybody, for the most part, is genuinely just super nice and willing to help. And and you couldn't ask for a better hobby to have people like that in.
Right.
Because they're not going to do it for like the 1-1 scale, like classic cars. Oh, you
Oh,
need an alternator? Here, take the alternator. I don't need this.
yeah.
It was
No.
$300 off the shelf or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to
And
have this
yeah.
small little scale, it's great to have the people that enjoy it,
Oh, yeah.
enjoy helping others too.
Yeah. There's a lot of good guys in it. I mean, there's been some guys that I've probably pissed off over the years. And, oh well. But
Well, I feel that same way. Like I see something that somebody sees one way, and then I turn it and totally chop pieces off of it, customize it, make it look like it's not supposed to look like that. And I feel like I probably piss people off too. Like, you just destroyed that model. In my
yeah.
vision, it looks like gold, and in their vision, it looks like trash. And I'm like, I don't care. It was the way I wanted it. So, yeah, I feel like I do the same
Oh yeah.
plenty of times.
Yeah. I know I've made people mad. Back in the day, they send me a message threatening me, and hell, we're
Oh,
all on
wow.
the computer. We're all on the computer. What are you going to do? Drive to my house?
Right. Well, I haven't had that yet, but dang. I'm sure they're mad at me in their own way, just not
Yeah. Well,
verbally. Oh, no.
like my wife says a lot. Oh, you're an asshole. So, that's oh well.
I am too, so you're in the same brotherhood as me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. I got my certificate somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Certified asshole.
I got my biker's jacket that says Biker Club Asshole. The
Uh,
Asshole Club. Deal with it.
yeah.
But right on, John. This was a good talk. I enjoyed it. I think the viewers will enjoy it. Um,
Yeah, we finally made time for it. I was going to do it
yeah.
on Friday, and then I was going to do it last week, and then the week before. I
But
thought
we
about
got it.
this. If I was at work, I was just going to throw this thing on the mount in in
And
my
just do it from
pickup.
work.
Hell, we could have done it
Yeah.
driving down the road.
Well, it took me to get Joseph Bolivin's, I think 2 months it took me to get him interviewed. And then I did Junior Berg. I think that
Right.
took me 2 months too, because he had to have his daughter help him download the Zoom app.
Uh,
And it took like that long. And then I think it took another week to figure out really how to use it or something. So some of these people, and then there's some people I messaged from the very first interview I did, and they still haven't figured out a date. So
yeah.
I think I've been doing this for, I don't know, since the pandemic started. And it's
Yeah.
gone on like, what, 3 months now? 3.5 months that we've
Something
had
like
this
that.
going on, maybe? So
Yeah.
yeah, they still haven't figured out time or whatever. So you're not that long. There's
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
people longer.
They've all been great. One of my favorites was William Ratcliffe.
I think
You
that
know,
was
just
most people's favorite. He's got the
yeah,
most
just
views.
just seeing his you know,
Clay
where
models he made
where he
in
well,
scale.
yeah, and where he makes where all the magic happens. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, he
he
was good.
he produces all these awesome models that
Right.
these
I'm
kits
trying
and
to get
parts and
Dan Goins on here. I think he'd be good. I want to get Bob Johnson. Bob doesn't want to really do it. He wants me to do it with Dan first. And then I'm trying to get some companies, dude. I want to get East Coast Electric on here. They said they would. They just got to figure out time to do it. And
right.
then there's Twin Whistler, which does firehouses, like fire
Okay.
stations. They don't do vehicles, but they do fire stations, and that has to
Right.
go with
Yeah,
fire trucks. So
structures. Yeah.
yeah, he says he's willing to do it. I would like to get other. Like I don't think it'd be great to talk to Athearn, because they made a line of like 20s and 30s pickups and sedans, for a while, and they don't anymore, but they had that lineup of vehicles that were really cool. I would like to talk to them about ideas. I like to get companies on here, but they're more busy, I guess, than
Oh yeah.
normal people. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They maybe a little hoity-toity or something.
Right. Yeah. I mean, um, John Howard didn't want to give up a lot of his little secrets for his
Oh,
LED work. I
absolutely.
said, dude, don't worry about it. Just you can tell us a little as you want or as much as you want. It's all up to you. I mean, this podcast is for you to introduce us to you and what you do. So,
Right. Yeah. I at one time I bought. I mean, I have a whole drawer full of those itty bitty LEDs that are like
yeah,
size
too
of a
small to see.
pinhead.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought, well, I don't need to buy the pre-wired ones. I can. Yeah. Yeah. You
You need to.
buy that electromagnetic wire, the EL or yeah, the electromagnetic wire. It's red and green. They say to you, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
why
I
East Coast Electra does all my stuff.
I think I
I can't
soldered
do that.
one. I think I soldered one, and that was it.
I don't even have a soldering gun, so there would be no way I could attach any of those leads to the circuit board if I wanted to.
Yeah,
I don't even plan on
yeah,
getting a soldering iron just
yeah. I have,
because they exist. So I'm going to send all my crap to them.
yeah, yeah. I have several soldering irons, and
I don't
yeah,
even
I have
have
a,
the drill bits to drill little tiny holes to keep them as small as I can for those leads to go down anyways.
huh,
So, I don't care. They're a reasonable price for their their product that they offer or their services. So I just add that on top of whatever I need to sell it or whatever, and I'm good to go. No, doesn't bother
yeah,
me none to have them do it.
yeah. Do you know? Does that? Maybe I'll message him. Does that? John Howard? Does he solder his own lights? Because if so,
Um, he never mentioned how he does. I would assume that that's how you get it onto the circuit board. I mean, every car, truck, whatever, has to have a circuit board to tell the lights
right,
how to flash.
right,
Um, so I would assume he has to solder them to the
yeah.
circuit board.
Well,
Um,
yeah, maybe I,
yeah, I don't know his little tricks. He didn't want to tell him, and I didn't want to ask because I didn't want
yeah,
to know.
maybe I'll get a hold of him and
He's super cool. He did my
just
very first Ghostbusters car.
yeah, just
He
send them
was
all
the
these LEDs that I'll
yeah
never use.
yeah he was the pioneer for the LED Ghostbusters car in 187 scale. So I give a big props to him because he was the one that started it all. I sent it to him, He said he'll never do another one because it was too much of a headache. And now East Coast Electric does the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I talked with him, long while back. I think when he first started showing the stuff. And I mean, I know where he gets all of his, at that time where he was getting his circuit boards and stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
I won't say the name out loud here, but.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said. I did talk to him, and like I said, he lived out in the boonies of this state or city, so his internet connection wasn't great.
Right.
And I got a lot of audio, but very little video um, of whatever he was trying to show us. But what he did say wasn't much into his secrets on how he does it.
Right.
He was a good interview, but it just, he didn't need to be detailed, and I didn't need him to be. It was more
Yeah.
just about him, so I was cool
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. Don't need to share your trade secrets.
Right. Which is what I did, telling you about how much I have into that Ghostbusters car. But oh well.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Like
like
I
those,
said,
you buy a truck
what's
a complete kit from William Ratcliffe. I mean, that can cost you
oh
well
yeah,
over $100.
yeah,
But they're
right,
awesome. I'll pay
yeah,
that.
they are. So you pay well over 100 or over 100, and then you still got to build it, and you still got to paint it.
Right.
So I mean, you without creating the product, you still had to build your own version of however you want it to end up looking, and
Well, the
that's
thing
your own
is that
vehicle.
I've bought them, but I've never built them. They're all in the drawer over there. It's just
I've
like
never
everything
built
else.
any of his stuff. I want to
Oh,
get
it's
a small diesel engine to put in a rat rod, but
yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I bought a couple. The last round of stuff I bought, I think a Cummins and a Detroit diesel engine. Um, I think, but yeah, it's just stuff that I buy that I never will probably never build. I have all the
Well,
ideas to do it, but
hopefully in the future, like you said, maybe when you retire, or if you ever get to, or maybe when things calm down and things start to get slower. I don't know. Who knows? You might.
yeah,
Never say never.
yeah, we'll see.
But all right, John, I'm gonna end this podcast.
Yeah,
If you want to stay
it's
on, if you want to stay on for a minute after I end it, we can just officially sign off then or
okay.
whatever. But
Yeah,
um, everybody, this is Sam Dennehy. Our guest was John Walker, and this was the podcast. So this is done. You guys have a good night. See ya.
all right. Thanks, Sam.
Yep.